Hello, my name is Leanne Poole. I'm a speech-language pathologist and I created Questions to Learn. Questions to Learn is an extensive, customizable teaching tool that targets an individual's understanding and ability to answer who, what, when, and where questions. If you want to quickly get started answering the 262 pre-programmed questions from the 6 different categories, select Go.
Where do you eat?
If you do not want to quickly get started and your student needs specific settings for their individual needs, go back to the main menu. To pick a student, I've already inserted one student. I've put her picture in, her name, her age, and her grade. I can select from a level. If she is not verbal and she needs a few pictures to choose from, you can select level 1, which is the easiest, and she'll look at 3 different pictures to answer the question. If she's ready to move on to level 2, she would have 4 pictures to choose from. Level 3, 5 pictures, or level 4, if she's verbal or using another AAC device to answer questions, you could use level 4, and she would not have any pictures to look at, and she would just be coming up with the answer from no pictures. So I'm going to start with level 1 with 3 picture choices. Visual prompting. This is a visual cue of if they select the incorrect choice, that choice would be removed, reducing the number of picture choices. So each time they choose an incorrect one, a picture is removed from the screen. If they need that, then you would select On. I'm going to keep it on. Auditory feedback. If your student needs to hear if they chose the wrong one, you keep that setting to On. I'm going to leave it on. Reinforcement type. If your child does well with getting reinforcement when they answer a question correctly, you can either choose from auditory, visual, where it's just a picture of a cute reinforcer, both, where you hear the person say good job or great work, and also a picture of my dogs Mocha and Dakota will appear, or none. If they don't need reinforcement, or if you're trying to work where they don't have reinforcement, you can select none. I'm going to keep it on both. Reinforcement schedule. If your student needs to have the reinforcement appear or be heard every 2 or 3 times, you can select intermittent to be either the 2nd or 3rd time that they're correct, they would hear or see the visual reinforcement. If you need it to happen every time they answer a question because they're at that level where they need to hear reinforcement at every time they answer it correctly, then you select continuous. Question category. There are 6 different question categories to choose from. You can select all to have all the categories worked on at the same time. If you only need to work on a certain amount of categories, you just select one. The question types, you can either work on all of them, or if you're just targeting what questions, you can select what. Spoken voice. If you don't think your student would respond well to the person who did the audio recordings of the question, you can turn that off. I'm going to leave it on. Visual trials. Some of my students need to know how many more questions they're going to have to answer, so you can either turn that off or on. I'm going to leave it on. If you need them to see 10 trials, you select 10. If you need them to see 5, you select 5. I'm going to keep it at 10. And then you just quickly get started by selecting Go at the end of the...
What can you order from a restaurant?
You'll listen to the question, and then your student will look at each picture choice, and
awesome.
If they answer correct, they'll see the cute little picture of my dog Mocha and an auditory feedback of awesome come about. Each time you select next,
What sign tells you to stop and let another car go?
When you select next, you'll see the green bone at the top of the screen colored in because we're on the next question. This is giving them a visual of how many more they need to answer. If you need to check their data collection chart right away when you stop working on the app, select yes. You'll go to their data collection chart and you'll have the date, the level, the category that you worked on, and which question you worked on, and the percentage of how many they got correct. It will also indicate if you had visual prompting on or off, because I think that's important when you're selecting and when you're looking at your data. If you wanted to delete that student data, you swipe the date to the left, and then you select delete.